Well, good morning, everybody. Potentially rainy mornings. I was going to get set up with all my equipment. Got the van here, but every day I work and I pull all this stuff out, get it all set up out here. But guys are looking pretty nasty off in the distance there, and there's some nasty thunderstorms coming our way. So I'm going to hold off on that for now, and just focus on some of the interior stuff. Don't want everything getting all wet. Alright, so show a little more detail of what I did yesterday. My camera was low on battery and I was really focused on just getting this done, so I kind of failed in my my filming. This is the sink side cabinetry. This little bench here is actually going to be part of our bed. I'm standing where our queen size bed is going to go. So what we wanted to do is have it so that the seating basically go across the back in a L shape, and then this guy here is sort of an additional seat, but I'm going to have the slats also slide out from here over to here. Well, I can see that from here to here, and that'll create like a U-shaped space. And then from this side, again, it'll go across to there to create the full bed. So I know some people like to just have a permanent bed. We like to be a little more comfortable, but also have the option to be hanging out on rainy days or whatever and not have to be sitting in a bed. We like to be able to sit down, you know, lounge around, and we're going to get a memory foam mattress we're going to cut up and upholster to be our both our mattress and the cushions for the lounge area. But yesterday I got a pretty good bit going here. Got this cabinet built. We had to kind of clarify exactly where our sink is going to go in this side last night. So now I'm going to add a member going down across this way to define where this side will be a bank of drawers. The sink is going to sit basically about here, and there'll be about a 8-inch space at this side here, a little bit of extra countertop, and I'm going to use I've got my big walnut slabs that I'm going to make into the countertop for all of this. It's big 2-inch thick hard walnut that I'll be doing, and got the upper cabinets basically in on both sides here. Kept it pretty simple, basically just used some cleats in the back wall, and then made the face frame for the cabinetry with my Craig jig. Cap up on top here is I'm going to put the little string of lights in there. There's really fine little tiny lights. I'm going to use the same cedar 5/4 by 12 thick pieces like this one. Make two doors for this, but it'll be out of one continuous piece, so the grain will run all along the whole thing, as well as the same kind of situation over on this side. This side we've got 3 doors, and then there's a whole big space in the back there that we'll be able to tuck stuff underneath, leaving an area here for an extra shelf up front. It's going to come out across from here. This whole wall right here is where our painting that Mitchell Johnson gave us for our wedding way back when. Kind of designed everything around that in a way. We went extra tall with our cabinets on this side because I'm almost 6'3", Robin's about 6 feet tall. With the sink side and everything and our prep side, we wanted it to be nice and tall. It's at 36 inches now, almost 2 inches of walnut. It's going to be almost 38 inches high. But that side over there, we're going to keep a little lower. We're going to go down to only about 34 inches for the final height. Our winter brand fridge freezer shape that will be inside the cabinet basically, and on a big slide out tray that'll come out across the bottom over here. Then a whole nother bank of drawers all on this side of the cabinet, and another drawer on top of above where the fridge is going to go on that side. Got some interesting transition situations here. This one is, you know, we saved the air conditioner, and I've got one big board in so far that I've mounted a nice 5/4 by 7-inch piece to create for the air conditioner. And I cut that hole so that the actual grate that came off of the plastic of the air conditioner will be able to go right in there after we get everything trimmed out and finished. Trying to figure out what I'm going to do with this area here, it's a little bit tricky because we've got an angled transition here going down, and then these straight ones. So I'm still kind of trying to brainstorm on what I'm going to do with this area. I'm thinking I might create a, let's see, kind of have this piece run down at an angle, put an end on here, and then set back a little bit here, create another flat shelf with a small door so that we could utilize this little space here for maybe our sheets and stuff or whatever. And then over on this side, again, since we've got these doors, it kind of changes the whole transition as well. Again, our bench is going to run across right about the middle of the door here. So this headroom is not as, won't likely to be banging our heads on it, but I don't want to have it, totally built out all the way to here either. So I'm kind of trying to figure out exactly how I'm going to work all that as well. But I'm going to kind of think I'll do something similar to the other side, have a small shelf set back here, and then have it somehow transition it up in this area. But fun stuff like that to work out when you've got a unique space like this. Again, I created this little bench out of, again, this is the beautiful cedar I've got, that these 5/4, which means, again, 1 inch thick. And figure another little storage area here. We're probably going to put maybe some backup water, big water bottles or something in here. And I had a chunk of piano hinge left over from when I just demolished the rest of the van originally. So repurposing those, but got all this gorgeous cedar. It's kind of fun to see this is obviously older heartwood, so it's a real nice, deeper, darker color. And then I see other pieces like this one here that, again, are the real tight, straight grain pieces. But kind of working on all these little details here. And again, we're kind of basing a lot of this on the Japanese designer Tagami, I believe is his name. There's some really cool videos on living big in a tiny house that we watched that really inspired us a lot on how we were going to do a lot of this. I would have liked to have gone with cedar for these walls, but unfortunately, I mean, the same kind of tongue and grooved cedar was about 8 times as expensive as this pine, and just put a little finish on it so that it kind of give it a little more of the cedar color. Also took a shot yesterday. We've been doing this cool little detail here. Kind of had an idea of doing it something like that when I was just coming up with this aluminum track to create our wall channels. Again, check back on other videos on how we're doing that so that our walls are just basically just 3/4 thick and pretty sturdy. This is our bathroom area. Again, it's a dry bathroom. It's just going to have I'm going to build a composting toilet here in the back, kind of like a C-head toilet, if you're familiar with those. And then have built in some storage across on the bottom here. And I'm also going to add shelving up above, like kind of similar to this shelving, a little shallower, but up here on this area for more storage. And then up above the toilet in the back here, we're going to have another shelf and enclose that for more storage as well. So maybe even try to create a way to utilize that, a little bit of that space going back in the gap there. I really didn't do a video notes necessarily showing putting in the jump seat, but I kind of showed a little bit of prepping the area here. I've got some trim I'm going to put on across this part of the step here. But this is our jump seat, and that way Robin can, or whoever's not driving, can hang out, sit right up front here. Let's see if I can do it without, have to pull that lever first, but got all the nice seat belts, and again, heavily bolted into the frame all underneath, so good and sturdy. A little bit set back from the main seat and stuff. Again, got our cork all in there, looking great. Again, you can't even find any of the joints because it's a free-floating system, but once it's locked in there and together, looks really nice. And again, it'll kind of hide dirt really well. And love the look of it though. Got our grass cloth on the ceiling that I really like the way that came out as well. Take a close look there. But when I get towards the end, I'll take some of my leftover cedar strips from this and trim them down to like 1/4 inch thick, just by like 1.5 inches. And then I'll be installing those across, you know, on over the joints and stuff here to kind of hide those joints, and also just kind of trim detail all around to the top and everything. And again, got the closet here. Yesterday was working a little bit on the getting the solar electrical system all set up. We just sort of initially set it up like this. I'm not sure if I'm going to keep it this way, but I've got all my other fuses and all that stuff to figure out where it's got to go. I'm probably not going to keep the charge controller right here necessarily, but I'm going to putter with that while it's raining here, and see if I can get all this stuff worked out. That's about it for now. This is funny. You can see this is how dark it is as the storm's about to hit. That the night lights for the storage unit came on. I've got my a board up on my cabinet here for temporarily for the day while I'm gonna lay my stuff out on it. But yeah, some nice, some lovely stuff coming in. So see how that goes here shortly.